Nititrangani, can you see it now? Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishna Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha Sri Nandananam Bande Radhika Charana Dvayam Gopi Jana Samayuktam Vrindavana Manohara Bhakti Vihina Paradalache Chiptista Kamadi Taranga Madhe Kripa Maitvam Saranam Kripadye Brinde Namaste Charana Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayanti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Ramo Hare Hare. So first of all I give pranams to our Gurudev. Om Vishnu Pada Statuta Shri Srimadsi Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Oswarupanuga Guru Varga, all Vaisnavas, Dandavats, Hare Krishna. So we're continuing Brhad Bhagavatamrita. How Narad Muni is searching for the recipient, the topmost recipient of the mercy of Sri Krishna. Finally he came to Dwarka and glorified the Yadavas, the Vrishnis, but finally headed by Uggura, he said no, because Krishna many times leave us and go another place, but he never gives up the association of Uddhava. Therefore, Uddhava is the real recipient of the mercy of Krishna. So in hearing this, Narad Muni reached an extraordinary state of ecstasy. So even though the veena was in his hands, he could not play, and with his voice choked and tears flowing like a river from his eyes, he came out of the assembly room of the Yadavas and went into the inner section of the palace of Rukmini. So that time, Parikshit Maharaj says that time, Krishna had not woken up yet. It was a little late, maybe 7, 8, 9. And Krishna was in some depression, so he not woke. But Uddhava in ecstasy, he came. That time, seated at a little distance, was seated Uddhava, as well as Balaram, Rukmini, Satyabhama, some maidservants, as well as Kamsa's mother, Padmavati. So when Narad Muni in great ecstasy began to cry, I want darshan of Uddhava, who has the mercy of Krishna, I heard from the rest of the Yadavas how Uddhava is the topmost of devotee. Therefore, their talks have pierced my ears, and my heart is now been stolen by the qualities of Uddhava. So when Uddhava heard that, with great respect, he caught Narad Muni, placed the feet of Narad Muni on his lap and began to serve them, massage them. That time Uddhava also remembered, when he heard that Uddhava has the mercy of Krishna, Uddhava remembered the Brijbasis, especially the Brajagopis. So that time Uddhava also began to weep. But understanding time, place and circumstance, Baladev pacified him and Uddhava began to speak. Uddhava said, Idanim yad braje gatva kimapi angva bhavam tata mahasaubhagya mano me sasadya stutnatam gataha. Uddhava said, I used to have the pride of being the recipient of Krishna's mercy. Why Krishna himself says, Uddhava, no one is as dear to you as me. Nacha Sankashana Nasra. Even Sankashan Balaram or Sri Lakshmi Devi, Rukmini, is as dear to me as you. Or Uddhava, even my own self is not as dear to me as you are. Uddhava said, I used to think I had the mercy of Krishna. But when I went to Vrindavan and saw the prem of the Brijbasis, Nanda Yasoda, Sridham, Subal, and especially the Brajagopis headed by Radhika, when I saw the good fortune of their prema, then my ego of having received the mercy of Krishna was completely smashed, no? Shattered to pieces. Now by their mercy I understand the sweetness of Krishna. What is the affection of Krishna for his devotees, and who has his real mercy? One may say, would have always seen Krishna, why he cannot appreciate the sweetness of Krishna? Because the prem of the affection of the devotee like a mirror, and Krishna's beauty reflected in their hearts. So the Brijbasis' heart, on the mirror of their heart is no one speck of Aishwarya. Means knowledge of Krishna's position as being Bhagavan. Therefore they fully drink the madhurya of Krishna. So Uddhav stayed there, even though Uddhav, when Krishna first ordered Uddhav to go to Vrindavan, that time Uddhav was thinking how I can live in Vrindavan. I cannot tolerate 1 second of Krishna's separation. But Uddhav went to Vrindavan and stayed there for 6 months, because the Brijbasis took Uddhav to all the places where Krishna did his pastimes, like Radha Kund even, to Sham Kund, Govardhan, Kusum Sarova, Manasi Ganga, Sri Giriraj, as well as all the different forests of Braj. So that time Uddhav could understand really Krishna never leaves Vrindavan for 1 second. At each place, especially hearing the katha of the Brajagopis, the Brijbasis, Uddhav experienced so much bliss that 6 months he stayed there. So Uddhav said that all these topics will come up. As soon as I went to Vrindavan, then Uddhav said, I sunk in an ocean of bliss. Everyone knows how I prayed at the end of my 6 months. No, Uddhav prayed Asamaho Chaladayanu Chusamaham Sham Vrindavan Kimapi Lato Gurmau Sadidam Dustaja Swajadan Ajapatachihipu Bejomakunda Padavin Shruti. He prayed to take birth as a blade of grass. Why? Because the Brijbasis have given up everything to attain the feet of Krishna. So, only the Brijbasis have given up the bondage of bodily attachment. So I want to take birth as a blade of grass. Gurma, latos, ausadinam. Then I can get their foot dust on my head. So Uddhav prayed like that. At that time, Uddhav prayed so humbly for association of the Brijbasis' birth after birth. 6 prayers there at the end of Uddhav's stay in Vrindavan. That time Rohini was here. Rohini was listening to all this. Rohini also has so much good fortune. Why, even though she is she is married to Vasudeva and lived in Mathura when Kamsa began his nonsense activities, then Uddhav sent Rohini to Vrindavan, and there she gave birth to Balaram. Meantime, Krishna also appeared from the womb of Yasoda 8 days later. So Rohini has so much good fortune. She witnessed all the childhood pastimes of Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan. She also followed and came to Mathura, and also she present in Dwarka Lila. So she's a witness of the pastimes of Krishna in all 3 places. So she has so much good fortune. So when Uddhav began speaking about the glories of the Brijbasis, then Mother Rohini remembered all this, and while shedding tears of prem, she began to speak. So very wonderfully Rohini spoke, Like Baladev, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Baladev, he also came to Dwarka, and again he asked Krishna, you come back to Vrindavan, even 1 day or 2 days, again and again Baladev asked, And Krishna again and again said, yes, yes, I will go, I will go. But he never went. So Baladev has so much mercy for the Brijbasis, so much affection. He gave up the association of Krishna in Dwarka and went back to Vrindavan. There he stayed 2 months. But this also all recorded in the Bhagavat Puran. There Baladev stayed 2 months and saved the lives of the Brijbasis because Baladev is Krishna Sarup. Also by his katha and everything, he gave life to the Brijbasis who were about to give up the body. So Baladev is so much on the side of the Brijbasis. Baladev is a Brijbasi also, no doubt. So much he have affection for the Brijbasis. This is symptom of love of Krishna. One may say this is very strange. He loves the Brijbasis, it seems, even more than Krishna, but actually this is a symptom of a very high class love of Krishna. Now it says, Ananta Mamata Vishnu, Ananya Prema Sangate Bhakti Uchate Bhisma Pralad Narad Uddhava. What is the symptom of pure affection for the feet of Krishna? Ananta Mamata Vishnu. Ananta Mamata Vishnu. So much feelings of mamata. Krishna is mine. Very thick and condensed. I am Krishna's. That is with some awe and reverence. But the feeling, I am Krishna, this is ordinary feeling. But the feeling Krishna is mine, that only present in Vrindavan. So much feeling of mamata for Krishna, and also so much prema for that which is associated to Krishna. Actually, Gurudev would say, symptom of prem, one loves more that which is associated with Krishna than Krishna himself. Like Madhya Yasoda, when Krishna broke the pot, then Madhya Yasoda thought, this pot I used for Krishna's service. Therefore, she punished Krishna by binding him and chastising him. So Guru Maharaj would say, it seems that Madhya Yasoda loves that pot in which all the yogurt was kept for churning butter. She loves that pot more than Krishna, but this is a symptom of high-class love of Krishna. So very lucky we are to hear all these things. So Rohini, she said, oh, Haridas, servant of Hari, oh, Uddhava, silence, be quiet. No? Don't remind me of all the suffering of the Brijbasis, who are now sinking in an ocean of separation. Day and night they are being burned in the fire of separation from Krishna. When my husband Vasudev brought me to Vrindavan, at that time I heard of Yasoda's lamentation. No? So Krishna so much separated, Madhya Yasoda so much separation from Krishna. After Krishna went to Mathura and Dwarka, no? That time Rohini saw that separation of Yasoda. At that time, even stones would weep, and even thunderbolts, which are very hard, would be shattered to pieces, hearing the lamentation of Madhya Yasoda. And who can explain in words whether the other gopis were dead or alive? The other gopis means the gopis in Madhura Ras. No? All gopis are not in Madhura Ras. Some Das, some even Sakya, some Vatsalya. Those in Vatsalya have so much separation. Imagine the separation of Radhika, Lalita, and Chandravali, even and the other gopis. So Rohini continued. After Sri Krishna completed his studies, he returned to Mathura from the home of Sandipani Muni. At that time, when Krishna went to Sandipani Rishi's ashram, Rohini went to Braj. Guru Maharaj described that after killing of Kamsa and 7 brothers of Kamsa, as well as the wrestlers like Charan and Mustik, after placing Ugrasen on the throne, that time he released. Krishna ordered Vasudeva and Devaki released from prison. But Devaki and Vasudeva, when they saw Krishna and Balaram, their hearts were full of awe and reverence. They simply stood there with hands praying. They knew Krishna and Balaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna was not satisfied with this, so he himself inspired Yogamaya to cover their awe and reverence so they could feel feelings of parents. And at that time they embraced Krishna Balaram, smelling their head and weeping again and again. So, that time, quickly Vasudeva and Devaki arranged the Upanayan, the Diksha ceremony of Krishna. Krishna took Diksha from Gargacharya, some say. That time, their heads were shaved, they were dressed as brahmachari, they were given some stick like brahmachari, and the rule is after Diksha one should go to beg some donation. So one should first go to one's mother or some woman who is not divorced, whose husband is not dead. It's called Saubhagyavati. And should take some blessing, some donation from a mother-like figure or mother, if possible. So Krishna Balaram went to Devaki. Devaki had so many jewels and gold ready for distribution. But that time when Krishna Balaram said, "Oh mother, Bhavatim Bhiksham Dehi," that time Krishna Balaram not remembered Devaki. They both, Krishna and Balaram, fully absorbed in remembering Mother Yasoda. Because Mother Yasoda used to say to Krishna and Balaram, "Oh boys, when you take Diksha, you come to me for donation. I will fill your bags with pearls and coins and jewels." So even though Devaki, Krishna and Balaram were right in front of Devaki, they could not remember Devaki. Their eyes closed. They simply remembered Mother Yasoda. And both Krishna and Balaram fell unconscious and began to weep. So Vasudeva and Devaki thought, even they are here in Mathura, but they not forgot Vrindavan. Guru Maharaj said, normally when a boy takes Diksha, this is like the Jews have Bar Mitzvah, or the Catholics have First Communion. This is the most important time in a child's life. But Guru Maharaj said not even one insect from Vrindavan was invited. So even after Diksha, they saw they not forgot Vrindavan, send them far away. So Devaki and Vasudeva sent Krishna and Balaram all the way to South India for more than 2 months to the ashram of Sandipani Rishi to forget Vrindavan. So that time it could be Rohini went to Vrindavan at that time. So even that time Rohini, when she spoke to Krishna and Balaram, the separation of Mother Yasoda and the Brijbasis, Rohini says, after hearing my words, your Krishna, not my Krishna, your Krishna, his heart did not melt because he still would not go to Vrindavan. Instead, he cleverly sent you to Vrindavan to give a message because you are very expert in all these activities. Means Rohini criticizing Krishna. Means out of so much affection for the Brijbasis. Hey! So when Krishna came to Vrindavan, so please hear what I witnessed. When Krishna was in Braj, he began pastimes like killing of Putana and the killing of Keshi and various demons. So sometimes even demigods tried to disturb Vrindavan, like Varuna kidnapped Nanda Baba, big snakes like Agasur came. The bullock cart at Sakata shore, he also, so many demigods and other things like the twin Arjun trees also came and disturbed Vrindavan. However, the Brijbasis not gave any attention to these disturbances. The Brijbasis just fully absorbed in the sweetness of Krishna. The Brijbasis only desired the welfare of Krishna. They never desired anything for their own benefit. The Brijbasis, out of loving affection, offered everything for the happiness of Nanda and Sri Krishna. Now listen very carefully. But your Krishna resided in Vrindavan only to fulfill his own selfish interests. He did not do anything at all for the Brijbasis. And now that he has fulfilled all his desires, he left Vrindavan. And what's he doing now? I cannot say anything. So only Brijbasi have this much attachment for Krishna. They can abuse him like this. But this abuse also gives so much joy and happiness to Krishna. Actually, it said in Vrindavan that praise gives distress and abuse gives happiness. So, Rohini Mother Rohini touching this mood so much, and she also speaks badly of Krishna. So hearing the words of Rohini, then Kamsa's mother, she misunderstood the affection in the heart of the Brijbasis and Rohini. So Padmavati, her name is, she began speaking something. Padmavati's history also very interesting. Someone may question, Ugrasen is such a great devotee, then how could he have such a great demon like Kamsa as his son? So history is very confidential. Actually, one time, Ugrasen was away somewhere, maybe fighting or doing something. So Padmavati was very restless, so she went for a walk on the bank of the Yamuna. Actually, married woman or any woman should not do like that, no? Because husband is home, she should also wait. That's why in Vedic time, when husband is away, wife should not decorate herself too much or go outside or socialize too much, because who she do it for? To get some other man? So anyway, so Padmavati was a little restless. So even though her husband was out, she was also wandering on the bank of the Yamuna. That time one demon called Drumila, I think, he saw the beauty of Padmavati, became attracted. So using his mystic power, he changed himself to look like Ugrasen. So when she saw her husband, she became happy and she enjoyed sexual relationship. But that time actually Padmavati knew this is not my husband. She knew. And therefore the child born of the union with the demon Drumil, that child was Kamsa. So actually, Padmavati very interesting person. So Padmavati, from her son is such a demon, she also of a very different nature. So when Padmavati heard Rohini abusing to Krishna, she misunderstood his words. Just like in material life, sometimes husband and wife fight and say things, but actually inside is so much relationship, so much affection. So an outside person may misunderstand. Of course, this is a material example, but we can get some idea. So, Padmavati, she also hearing all Brajalila, she also hearing everything, but because she have no pure devotion, she misunderstand everything. Nati vidusratikati Vishnu durasaya bahirati maninas. Just like a non-devotee, their hearts are contaminated with other desires, desire for karma, desire for moksha, desire for swarga, desire for yog siddhis. Many asat trishna they have, many anarthas, desire for happiness in this world, desire for happiness in the next world. Many desires they have. So even they read the scriptures, they cannot take out the real meaning. So Padmavati, she is associating with Brijbasi. She is associating with high-class Vaishnava and hearing all Krishna's Leela, but because no pure heart, she cannot understand properly the essence of anything. No, like in Kurukshetra, Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, many demons also heard Krishna speak Bhagavad Gita. But did the understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Lord come in their heart? No. That understanding not came. So Padmavati, very funny what she said. She said, yes, I heard such revolting things. From childhood, Krishna was like a slave of the Brijbasis. And those cruel and heartless cowherd men and women would force baby Krishna to take the cows into the thorny forest for grazing. When Krishna was wandering in bare feet, the gopis and gopas were very cruel. They not even gave some shoes to Krishna. And if they not fed him properly, so sometimes he would come home after all day working in the forest and he would steal some butter because very hungry, because the Brijbasi is not feeding him properly. So when Krishna out of hunger would steal some food, the Brijbasis were very cruel. They would preach everywhere, Krishna is a thief. They would bind him up and give him so much sorrow and misery. But Krishna tolerated all this suffering and he never said anything. Therefore, why you are saying what Krishna should do for the Brijbasis? Padmavati hearing, speaking all this. So when Rohini heard all this, she could understand. Oh, this person not properly understand what is Krishna Lila. So sometimes scriptures say to a stupid or foolish person, no need to give good instruction, because the opposite result is there. Just like one time there was a monkey and a parrot, and they were living in the same tree. So parrot made some hole, parrot makes some hole in the tree, and he filled that hole full of grass and stuff. So he make himself a nest and he protect himself from the elements. The parrot saw, even when it rains or something, I'm quite comfortable. With the foolish monkey, he just sitting on the branch and become cold and wet. So parrot felt compassion. He gave some instruction to the monkey. Oh dear monkey, you should make some shelter for yourself, that you do not feel the suffering caused from the elements. So monkey, instead of becoming happy by getting some good instruction, monkey became angry. Sala, parrot, you think you're my guru? He became angry. He took the nest of the parrot and threw on the ground. So parrot also became destroyed. The parrot realized this is the result of giving instruction to foolish person. So sometime when someone is so much demonic or so much materialistic, what instruction you can give? So that time Rohini kept quiet. She pretended not to hear any. So Rohini spoke some more. Oh, Krishna has destroyed the demons, and now he's attained the great capital of Mathura, the capital of the Yadavas, and now he's enjoying the leisure of being the King of Kings. So, Krishna has defeated all the demigods, and he gave so much mercy to them. And now even the demigods are giving pranam to the feet of Krishna. And even now, Krishna still does not remember the Brijbasis. No, Rohini speaking. Now Krishna getting so much respect, so much position in Mathura, he forgot everything about Vrndavana. So, when Rohini Devi spoke this, then Rukmini became disturbed. She is the daughter of Bhishmak and she very beloved of Sri Krishna. She always resides in the heart of Krishna. So that time, Rohini became disturbed and she spoke something. Without the slightest knowledge, Rukmini said, without any knowledge of the deep feelings of Krishna's heart, which are soft like butter, or Rohini, why are you speaking such things like this? Do not think that Krishna has forgotten the Brijbasis. Actually, Rohini knows all these things, but sometimes, to extract nectar, Vaisnavas sometimes speak like this. For example, and ordinary people not understand. For example, when Sukadeva Goswami was, anyway, many examples are there. No? Like sometimes Chivika Maharaj, he would speak glorifying Chandravali and speak against the bhakti of the gopis and things like that. Then Gurudev would become disturbed and angry, and Gurudev would speak many things. So one time someone asked Chivika Maharaj, why always it seems you're speaking in against mood, against Gurudev? Then Chivika Maharaj laughed, no, I'm not against, but Narayan Maharaj is like a beehive of honey. So to extract the honey, you have to beat the hive. So sometimes, to extract those feelings in the heart of Guru Vaishnava, other Vaishnavas who are very expert, they arrange to speak like this. So we should not misunderstand. Devat said, Vaishnav Kriya Mudra Vigyan Namaji. Ordinary persons can never understand the mood or the heart of Vaishnavas. Sometimes Vaishnavas even speak something, but their feelings may be another. No? For example, Gurudev may tell some disciple, you foolish idiot, get out of my sight, I don't want to see your face. Actually, Gurudev's mood is not that person should leave Vaishnava association and go outside. Gurudev's mood is that person should rectify themselves and change. But a foolish person will think Gurudev doesn't love me anymore and they may go. Or another foolish person may see Gurudev chastising someone, they may think, oh, now Gurudev doesn't like that person. So many things we have to balance by maturity, by experience. So Rukmini spoke, no, don't think like that, Rohini. Krishna's heart is soft like butter. I know, even in dream, Krishna never forgets the affection and love that he has for the Brijbasis, even in dreams. At night, sometimes Krishna calls out the names of the different cows while dreaming. Krishna has millions of cows, so sometimes he calls them Davali, O Gange, O Yamune, like this, O Shamala. So he calls out the names of the different cows in a voice as sweet as honey, because mood of Vrindavan. Sometimes he calls out for the Sakis like Lalita, Vishaka, Radhika. Sometimes while sleeping he calls out the names of the different cowherd boys like Sridham, Subal, Stok, Labanga, Madhumanga. And sometimes while sleeping he assumes the threefold bending pose. Shamam Tribanga Lalitam Niyatam Prakasham Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajam. Sometimes he assumes the threefold bending pose, as if he is playing his flute in a very melodious tune. Sometimes in a sleeping condition he calls, Oh mother, give me butter. I'll just turn off my phone. Excuse me. Sometimes he calls, Oh Maya, oh Mother Yasoda, give me butter, give me butter. Sometimes while sleeping he catches my cloth and calls, Oh Lalita, oh Radhika, oh Chandravali, what are you doing? And while sleeping, Krishna's tears drench the pillow, drench the bed sheets. Sometimes when his dream breaks and he wakes, he sees I am not in Vrindavan. He weeps in a most pathetic voice. That time all of us, we also become absorbed in separation, and we also lament and weep, hearing the sound of Krishna's weeping. So prema means, Gautam Maharaj would also say, prema means two ways. Brijbasis love Krishna so much. So also Krishna also so much loved the Brijbasis. This two-way relationship. That is Ras Asraya and Visaya. So even this night, last night, Rukmini is saying, Krishna, Lord Krishna experienced, of course she not says Krishna's name. Because why should not say name of husband? So the Lord also experienced some dream while asleep. He becomes so restless while crying and so distressed that even now he is not woken up. Sometimes we feel depressed, we don't feel like getting up in the morning. So even now Krishna has covered his face with his cloth, and even now he is lying there. As if asleep, he is not sleeping, but out of depression he is lying there. Even now he has not performed his daily activities like waking, doing anik, tilak, gayatri, all these things, taking bath. So hearing this from Rukmini, Satyabhama became jealous. Satyabhama is one of the co-wives of Krishna. So Satyabhama began speaking against Rukmini. Oh Rukmini, why are you speaking madly like this? Do you think Krishna only remembers the Brijbasis in dreams? No. Even in awakened condition, Krishna acts like sleeping. It means even Krishna doing activities during the day, but his mind is another place. So we are wives of Krishna only in name. It means even Krishna is waking, but he also like a dream state. He remembering Vrindavan. So we are the wives of Krishna in name only. Actually, even the maidservants of the gopis of Vrindavan are more dear to Krishna than us. So this is confidential, but also you see in 10th canto when all the gopis and Everyone met Krishna at Kurukshetra. At that time, the queens of Dwarka also prayed to attain the position of being the maidservants of Radhika in next life. Because those maidservants of the gopis also have so much good fortune. So while Rukmini was talking this and Satyabhama was saying this, Baladev was hearing and Baladev spoke something. Oh, young ladies, we are talking about this distressful story of the condition of the Brijbasis. But my brother is actually just cheating all of you. He is pretending all these things in his dreams, but it is not real. Krishna actually have no love for them at all. Baladev, no. Rukmini and Satyabhama can speak something because not Brijbasis. But Brijabasi feeling another thing. So that time Baladev spoke. Dharmas dvayam stitva tesham swastam chikitsata. I spent 2 months in Vrindavan, pacifying all the residents there, Nanda, Yasoda, the coward boys, and the Braja Gopis. Very difficult for me to pacify them, but only one medicine I had. I promised them Krishna is coming. Krishna will definitely come. Even though I truly experienced no one can satisfy the Brijbasis except for Krishna. I took hundreds of vows, promising I must bring Krishna back to Vrindavan. So even though the Brijbasis did not give their permission, still somehow I came here back to Dwarka. Again and again I said to my brother, "Oh brother Krishna, you should at least go somehow to the Brijbasis and protect their lives. 1 day or 2 days even." Krishna again and again said, I will go, but as yet he has not gone. No? Therefore Krishna cheating by all these showing dreams and everything, because one's heart is displayed by their activities. What's in the heart manifests outside. So if Krishna so much loved the Brijbasis like he is pretending to, then why he's not going? It's Balaram saying, oh Krishna, you can cheat Satyabhama and Rukmini, but you cannot cheat me and Rohini. So, after hearing this, when Baladev spoke this, then Krishna began to weep very loudly, coming outside of his bedroom. Krishna's voice was choked, his eyes were red, and tears poured from his face. At that time, Krishna's eyes resembled full blossoming lotus. A full blossomed lotus is always a little bit reddish. Krishna's eyes reddish from weeping. At that time, Krishna appeared more attractive. Krishna has so many qualities, but Krishna's affection for the devotees, his Bhakti Vatsalita, Gurudev would said that remains on the crest, like the crest jewel of all Krishna's qualities. Bhakti Vatsal Sri Krishna. Krishna may be so much beautiful, so much handsome, so much opulence, but he is not kind, then what's the use in all the other qualities? So, actually, Gautamaj would say, all scriptures say you have to cry for Krishna, but only this Bhagavatam and this Brhad Bhagavatam describe, no, Krishna also crying for the devotee. These things you cannot find in any other scripture. Even Bhagavatam not described too much clearly, like here. Described, but this Brihad Bhagavatam going more in detail, the heart of Krishna. So, Krishna also feels so much prema, so much affection for the devotee. So when Krishna feels prema, the devotee feels prema, Visaya, Alamban is 2 sections, Ashraya and Visaya. So when these 2 are together, then there's so much ras, otherwise no ras. That's why in places like Vaikuntha, not so much ras. Because in Vaikuntha, Krishna is self-satisfied, Atmaram. Therefore, not so much ras is there in Vaikuntha and other incarnations. But Krishna Sarup, so much absorbed in prema for the devotee. Krishna fully sell himself to the devotee in a way you cannot find any other incarnation. Therefore, in Braj Lila, so much ras, so much taste, so much happiness. So Krishna weeping Krishna came out. No? Even Krishna could cry for the Brijbasis. Why our hearts are not breaking? We are lucky. Our Guru Parampara, Guru Vaishnava, we should think, understand they are real Brijbasi. But why our heart not breaking in separation from them? So Krishna said, really? Krishna said, my heart is made by the essence of a thunderbolt. Why my heart is not breaking hearing all these things and remembering all these things? Balyad arabhya ta yat tat palanam vihitam chiram. Since childhood, the Brijbasis raised me and protected me. I have forgotten their uncommon prema, their uncommon affection for me. What to speak of doing good for the Brijbasis, Krishna said, I have become very cruel and I only give distress to them. And they are so much kind and merciful. So Krishna also criticizing himself. Uddhava, you know everything. Tell me, what should I do? How can I cross this ocean of sorrow, this ocean of pain? This is an astonishing thing because Krishna, he is bliss personified. Krishna is Anandasuri. Krishna gives happiness and bliss to the whole world. So who can give happiness to Krishna? That is Uddhava. Uddhava have such a special position. So that time Devaki, the mother of Krishna in Dwarka, she heard this, then Devaki became afraid. Because she see Krishna so much, remember the Brijbasi, so much affection, then maybe Krishna will leave Dwarka and go to, now Krishna will go to Vrndavana and leave us all. So Rohini also become afraid. So even though she is the friend of Yasoda, still, Guru Maharaj would say, Dwarkabasis are not kind and generous like the residents of Mathura. When Krishna was in Dwarka Mathura, the Brijbasis never said, oh Krishna, you should come back. Why the Brijbasi think if Krishna is there in Dwarka, he must be very happy. So if he is happy, let him stay there and be happy. We don't want to bring Krishna back by force, that Krishna feel distressed by coming back here. Therefore, Pujapad Madhusudana Maharaj says, Brijbasi have no demand on Krishna. So even Nanda Baba, when Krishna expressed some desire to remain in Mathura, that time Nanda Baba not outwardly Bhagavatam described, Nanda Baba not took Krishna back to Vrindavan. Why Nanda Baba have so much affection for Vasudeva and Devaki and others? He thought after so many years of separation, how can I take Krishna back to Vrindavan and break their hearts? So Nanda Baba and the Brijbasi's heart is so generous. When others serve Krishna, they feel happiness. They feel bliss by that. But everyone's heart cannot be oceanic like Nanda, Yasoda or Radhika. If Radhika could find some other gopi who give more happiness to Krishna, then Radhika says, I serve that woman and bring her for Krishna's pleasure. So really only Brijbasi have this nirmal, this kevala prem, no other desire except Krishna's pleasure. And this Brhad Bhagavatamrita manifests all these feelings. But Devaki is not like that. So Devaki become afraid. Oh, now Krishna is so much absorbed in remembering the Brijbasi. Now maybe now Krishna will go back. So Devaki spoke. Oh, whatever desires the Brijbasis have, whatever they may be, oh Krishna, you should fulfill their desires. Means whatever they want, you should give them. But don't go back to Vrindavan. That is the big. That time the queen of Ugrasen, right, the mother of Kamsa Padmavati, hearing this, even though at first she was ignored by Rohini, now Padmavati, this is very funny, now Padmavati become afraid, oh, maybe now Krishna will give the kingdom of this kingdom, maybe now Krishna will give to the Brijbasis and take away the kingdom of my husband and give to someone else. Because Devaki said, whatever the Brijbasis want, you give them. So now Padmavati become afraid. Oh, now maybe my husband will give everything to the Brijbasi. So she thought maybe Brijbasi wants something else. So very cleverly she spoke. Of course, foolish person always think what I'm doing is very clever. So, Padmavi said, don't worry. Just calculate how much those two brothers, Krishna and Balaram, just calculate how much rice they ate, how many chapatis they ate, how much milk they ate, how many vegetables they ate, how many sweets they took, how many new cloth they wore. So just calculate all this. 11 years they stayed in that house. Imagine how much they ate and did everything, how much expense Nanda Baba spent to raise them. No? And also we can pay some wages, like Krishna and Balaram we heard going so much cow grazing. Okay, minimum wage is like $9 an hour. So just calculate how many hours they spend a day cow grazing, how much we owe them, and how much they ate. And we will give some compensation to Nanda Yasoda. And she's so much crooked. She's thinking, and don't worry, because Gargacharya, he also there in 10th canto, Gargacharya, very expert in the science of astrology. So he will not miss even one chapati, one laddu. So he will calculate everything, and he will give that to the king of the Gopas, Nanda Maharaj. I promise I will do that. Anyway, for 15 years they did that. How much they took, how much they ate. Sorry, 11 years. We will pay everything. Why Nanda Baba and the Brijbasis are so much disturbed? Anyway, no need to too much go into that explanation. It's quite obvious. No? So, hearing these words from Padmavati, well, that time Krishna became more confused. What should I do? O Uddhava, what should I do? What is my duty to the residents of Vrindavan? O Uddhava, you know the hearts of the Brijbasis. What should I do? What do they desire? How can I fulfill their desire? So when Krishna spoke this, Uddhava became bewildered. So he let out a long sigh, and he began to speak. And what glorification Uddhava gave of the Brijbasis, we will hear day after tomorrow at 8 o'clock. It's very, very sweet topics. Okay, it took us a little while to get here to talk topics of Vrindavan. But unless you hear all the glories of these other devotees, then how do you understand the excellence of the glories of the Brijbasis? Just like only daytime, only nighttime. Hey! How you understand the beauty of the daytime? Therefore, unless we understand the glories of Hanuman or the glories of the Pandavas, the glories of the Yadavas, then how you really understand the glories of the Brijbasis? So these all other 5 chapters give some foundation. Unless you have a glass, how can you drink glass? How can you drink nectar? In the same way, these 9 cantos of Bhagavatam give some foundation for Braj Lila. These first 5 chapters describing the glories of different devotees, this gives some foundation, and we can understand nicely the prema of the Brijbasis. So we're still here in Vrindavan. Lockdown now extended another 2 weeks. Hare Krishna. So we'll see everyone the day after tomorrow. Everyone, don't waste this time. Use nicely for reading, for chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go, Someone asking why the Brijbasis didn't give shoes to Krishna. Because one time Madhusudana said, Krishna, take shoes. And Krishna said, if the cows get no shoes, how I can wear shoes? Because the cows are a worship of deity. So out of respect for the cows, Krishna not wear shoes. Okay. Yet Satyabhama also saying all these things, no? Because 16,108 wives, but Krishna spends time with each wife. Every night, so all wives know these secret things about Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna.